Some of you might be wondering a little bit about the topic for this week. I intentionally chose the title of Supporting Student Engagement rather than Behaviors. Because number one, I think when you start a learning module or a conversation or a professional development with behaviors, it automatically has a negative connotation for good reason. I would like you to consider behaviors and student engagement as a global concept as we dig into the different materials, very different materials that I've provided you for this week. So first, you've reviewed chapter 6, which when we first read it, we probably read it with an academic lens. And now I'm asking you to go back and look at a couple of sections and start to think about executive functioning skills or those soft skills or those how to school skills. Social emotional learning for our students that might struggle with social skills or with anxiety, and supporting challenging behaviors. That piece that seems to be a major topic and kind of a negative topic. So you've reviewed chapter 6, and now you've read 2 pages from a book by Shelley Moore that I put in the previous slides. Pages 18 and 19 from this very short book, available online if you're interested. I was able to hear Shelley Moore speak at our MCEC conference, and this was very pivotal for me. I felt like her stories told my story as a special education teacher, and then I bought her book. I read her book in one setting, and this section especially caught my eye, and I saved it for this week for us to talk about student engagement and about challenging behaviors, but also about those students that don't exhibit challenging behaviors, but still are withdrawn, or they're, for some reason, it has an impact on their academics. So you read all about inclusion from Shelley Moore on the previous slides, and how probably a lot of us are at the stage of integration, where we've integrated students. We may have them in our general education elementary classrooms, but we don't know, and maybe they don't know the purpose of why they're there. And I especially thought about the last section that I had you read, where Shelley Moore says, as students get older, though, we might forget about that the same explicit teaching is needed. We sometimes replace instruction with they should know better, and we pull them out of classes at the first sign of a behavioral disruption. That really spoke to me, because then she goes on to say, the vision of coexisting successfully in a physical space requires positive behavior supports, anticipating negative behaviors, and then teaching the positive skills needed before the behavior goes south. Having a vision and teaching students what to do explicitly in different contexts is a well-documented and successful approach to helping students navigate classrooms and schools. I'm asking you to consider Dr. Shelley Moore's words for all students, all diverse learners, but especially our students with IEPs that might be withdrawn, distracting, or distracted, or really not doing well academically because of some of those executive functioning or soft skills in education. The fact that we might need to go in and explicitly teach them, not that you throw balls in the gym and not throw books in the library, not those overt behaviors, but some of the very school behaviors that need to happen. The fact that when math starts, it's appropriate to have your laptop out. But during silent sustained reading, we put the laptop away and we get a book, or we access a different program on the laptop. Some of those smaller, sometimes invisible skills need to be just as explicitly taught as our math, our English language arts, our reading, and also interventions for some challenging skills. So this is a little bit, this is material and a little bit of a reminder to think about this for all learners, all diverse learners, and students with disabilities, that we need to explicitly teach, use an explicit instruction framework to teach the skills we want students to use in order to be successful academically. Bottom line is use use explicit instruction on how to be at school.